We need to be talking to each other. Now, this is a letter that many of you signed, many of my fellow Democrats. I've spent my life in this party. I've devoted my life to the values of this party. There's 102 people signed this. This itself is evidence of the problem that this hearing was convened to address. This is an attempt to censor a censorship hearing. The charges in this, and by the way, censorship is antithetical to our party. It was appalling to my father, to my uncle, to FDR, to Harry Truman, to Thomas Jefferson.
All right, very interesting stuff. RFK Jr. begging his Democratic Party to stop censorship. They're trying to censor that very hearing. Joining me now to talk about it, Brenberg, co-host of The Big Money Show, and Concha, media and politics columnist with The Messenger and a Fox News contributor and author of the great book, Come On, Man. One more sound. Brian, I know you want to weigh in on this. Sure. Watch this. This is the censorship of the hearing. Let's take a look at this soundbite.
Mr. Kennedy, you are now recognized for your opening statement, and then we'll go right down the line.
Excuse me, point of order. I know that witnesses usually have 5 minutes. I see 10 minutes on the board. Is it going to be 10 minutes
We'll
for
give him
every
5
witness?
minutes, but we're pretty lax with this. We'll let him go for.
We are?
I'm just saying in past history.
Okay.
But
Let's just watch the time for all the witnesses.
And if you want to cut him off and censor him some more, you're welcome to do it.
Oh, that's not my job. That's your job. Why don't you threaten a witness so that they can not want to be a witness?
Oh, God, I love Jim Jordan. I always love Jim Jordan. Brian Brenberg, what do you make of this whole story?
Okay, RFK Jr.'s words were brilliant. It was a great opening statement, but the fact is, he didn't have to say anything in this hearing. The fact that they had the letter, 102 people said, don't let him speak.
What? That's what this letter was about?
He shouldn't be a witness. He does not deserve to be a witness for the things he said. And then to have somebody say, why are we giving him 10 minutes? I mean, you can't make this up. In a censorship hearing, they're going out of their way to censor the guy. And as a viewer, I'm thinking to myself, do they understand what they're saying? Can they see what they're doing right now in this hearing? And I think the answer is no, which tells you just how bad censorship and free speech has become, even in the body that's supposed to be the most deliberative body in America.
You know, you get a certain chill. He says, my father wouldn't have done that. My uncle wouldn't have done that. I wrote a book about JFK and Reagan tax cuts. I'm a big fan. JFK, RFK. Sure. They were not crazy left-wing socialists like the party is today. And if Bobby Kennedy Jr. stays on I think this story is going to play out. Joe, you got a quick one on this? I know it's not your favorite, but what do you...
Yeah, sure. Well, it's not your daddy's donkeys, right?
That's right. No, that's right.
The
that's
party
exactly
of JFK.
Right. Yes.
Tax cuts, strong military. The party of Bill Clinton, for example, he made Donald Trump look like a wallflower when it came to deportations. President Obama, the deporter-in-chief, Jimmy Carter, a pro-life Democrat. All those things would not be allowed in this current Democratic Party. Most of all, Democrats always position themselves as the anti-war party. And now RFK is the only one who's basically speaking out about Ukraine and Russia and finding some sort of end game while Democrats are pushing for more war.
That's going to also play out. It's very interesting. All right. I want to go to the movies for 1 second. We've got 2 quick movie reviews. I know you guys are expert movie reviewers. Let me start, Brian, let me start with you. Oppenheimer, okay? The sort of father of the American atomic bomb. Now, this movie has gotten at least one good review. I saw it in the New York Post. I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward to it. But, was Oppenheimer a Soviet spy? Was he a Soviet mole? A lot of people say he was. There's a lot of documentation on this. This movie kind of skirts that issue. The government won't put out... people are saying that Joe Stalin knew about the U.S. atomic bomb before Harry Truman. What does Brian Brenberg think?
I'll say this much, because I definitely can't answer that question.
Oh, come
but
on.
I will say this, and this is actually true of the Barbie movie, which maybe we're going to talk about as well.
We are.
I don't trust the agenda in any movie that comes out of Hollywood. I don't believe that I'm going to get a movie that's decoupled from some kind of political activist left wing. I just don't trust any of them. So Oppenheimer, I've read as many reviews as you have. I don't trust that I'm going to get a story that's going to be faithful to the best of what we know. And that's a problem. To me, that's the problem with Hollywood.
Documents suggest that Joe Stalin knew about our bomb before Harry Truman. All right, I don't have enough time.
Okay.
But Barbie, now.
Yes.
There's the movie was panned in a lot of places, but putting that aside, unless you have a view. Here's the thing. I think we have a picture of this. They're saying there's Chinese communist propaganda in this movie because it shows a map. There it is. Behind Barbie, it shows a map that China has taken over the entire South Sea, the entire South China Sea, and that this is Chinese communist propaganda from Hollywood. What do you think, Joe Concha?
U.S. filmmakers are allowing Chinese propaganda, such as the Chinese claim that they own all the territory in the South China Sea. And the reason why American studios are doing this, there's 1.8 billion reasons. That's the population of China. So if they edit that out, the movie gets banned from that market and all that money goes away.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So, is there talk about editing it out?
Well, I'm sure that they could very easily.
Vietnam's not allowing them to show the movie in Vietnam because of that line. But that's a crayon map. And they went out of their way to put that nine dash line. That's not an accident. And it's crazy to me that they would do that, but it shows you just how much they are bowing to Chinese authorities because that money is the make or break for that movie.
Last one.
The NBA, Daryl Morey, showed support for, he was the GM for the Houston Rockets, showed support for Hong Kong protesters. And then all the Houston Rockets merchandise was pulled from Chinese shelves the next day. Games weren't shown. The Chinese are serious about this. You cross us on this, we'll take away your merchandise, your ability to show a movie to our 1.8 million people. By the way, with Chris Nolan and Oppenheimer, he's an excellent director and has never really been woke or liberal as far as I can see.
I hope you're right.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I hope you're right. He's been great. I've seen a lot of his movies.
Best director in the game right now.
A lot of evidence he was a Soviet mole. By the way, I'm not saying he wasn't a great man. Seriously, I'm not saying he didn't do a fabulous job, engendering the atomic bomb to end World War II. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying he could have been a Soviet mole. That's all. I got to get out. The producers are screaming at me.
Okay.
They're all from the South China Sea. That's the problem with this whole segment. That was a joke. Ha ha. I love our producers. Joe Concha, Brian Brenberg. You're all terrific.